Jennings is next.
On World News Tonight this Thursday, the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates and the stock market has an exciting afternoon. Is that what the Fed had in mind? What is the Federal Reserve trying to do? There's been a sharp drop in teenage pregnancy. Is it changing attitudes or is it the shot? And we'll take a closer look at animosity. That's the polite word in the Middle East.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We don't know if the Federal Reserve intended to surprise people today, but they certainly did in mid-afternoon with just a whiff of alarm in the air about the state of financial markets. The Fed has lowered its interest rate another 0.25% to an even 5%. The immediate effect was a very vigorous rally in the stock market. When the markets closed an hour later, the Dow Jones Industrials were up 330 points, and the NASDAQ was up more than 70. There is a lot to this. There's been real distress in the financial markets. The bond market has been dislocated. There's nervousness about banks in trouble, and corporate earnings are down all over the place. ABC's Betsy Stark first. She picks up the story from there.
The primary goal of today's action is to encourage U.S. banks and brokerage houses battered by big losses to keep lending money at low rates. Small and medium-sized businesses especially have seen their credit choked off in the last several weeks, increasing the threat of a major downturn in the economy.
Greenspan, by cutting rates, adds liquidity, adds money to the system so that consumers feel more comfortable in borrowing, and so that lenders, so that banks and mortgage companies feel more comfortable in lending.
Fed watchers say the surprise timing of today's move shows just how concerned Mr. Greenspan had become about the credit crunch continuing despite a rate cut just 2 weeks ago. Analysts say today's midday announcement was calculated to give the Dow a boost, and it did. And the euphoric reaction is expected to carry over into Asian markets as well. But if investors interpret today's move as a sign that the economic situation has worsened, stocks could sell off as quickly as they rose.
However, this is powerful medicine, and this will filter through the economy, and it will help, even if it does make some people nervous that perhaps the Fed knows something more dire than the rest of us.
Fed policymakers will be watching closely. If businesses continue to have a hard time borrowing money or consumers show signs they're unwilling to spend, economists think the Fed will lower rates again before the end of the year. Betsy Stark, ABC News, New York.
Well, with so many people interested in this, we seek another informed opinion. Joining us tonight is John Manley, Managing Director at the investment bank Solomon Smith Barney. What do you and your colleagues think of this?
Well, I think it's a sign to try and improve confidence in the credit markets. We have very real concerns that money's not getting where it should go. This should help.
And what do you think that is, what you think the Fed precisely intended?
I think the Fed was trying to make sure that fear didn't keep money from reaching its intended source. We were seeing signs that perhaps money wasn't getting to the intermediate creditors that it was meant for.
And based on the last couple of hours, which is all you had, you think this really contributes to financial stability?
I think it does. It makes the stock market feel a bit better. The real test will be if it helps the lending markets. That's where it has to get to.
How much nervousness is there really out there in the financial community? Whiff of alarm too strong?
Not at all. I think people were scared. I think people were very scared about the system. People were running all sorts of possibility scenarios in their mind. I think people were very, very frightened.
Dark holes ahead kind of thing.
Exactly. We didn't know how bad it could get, and I think this adds some fear that something to the notion the Federal Reserve is on our side. That's a comforting thought.
And even this small cut, you think, actually makes a difference?
It's what has to be done. The Fed will do more if it's necessary. That's the message that came across.
Mr. Manley, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Very cogent. Still on the money tonight, the World Trade Organization predicts that the growth in trade throughout the world is going to be reduced by half this year, and probably shrink even further next year because of the economic turmoil in Asia. It's all related. Producer prices, which measure inflation at the wholesale level, had their biggest jump in a year, 0.3% last month, though economists still apparently believe that long-term inflation is unlikely. There's another reminder today that women still have a hard time making it into the boardroom. The number of women directors at the nation's top 500 companies increased less than 1% last year. They now make up only 11% of board members overall. In Washington today, the big money deal of a different order. The White House and the Republican leaders have reached an agreement on the $500 billion budget package to fund the government for another year. The partisan game of who really made this possible, who made it happen, has already begun. But regardless of that, there's quite a lot in the bill that will make a difference to a good many people. Here's ABC's Linda Douglas.
In the end, both Republicans and Democrats tried to take credit for the deal to spend roughly $500 billion to fund 10 government agencies.
I think we have a package that's good for America.
It's a good day for America.
Some key items: $15.5 billion goes to the National Institutes of Health for research on cancer and other diseases. $1.1 billion for home heating for low-income seniors. $1.1 billion to hire and train 100,000 new teachers. They decided not to spend $1 billion to repair dilapidated schools. There is also $20 billion for what were deemed emergencies. $1.5 billion for natural disasters like Hurricane George. $2.2 billion for year 2000 computer problems. $1.9 billion for peacekeeping in Bosnia. $6.5 billion to bail out farmers. But there were also emergency items that might not seem so urgent. For example, $1 billion to begin building a missile defense system. And then there is $2 billion for a mystery item labeled intelligence. Only a few senior members of Congress and staff with top secret clearance know what that is.
And where did those emergency funds come from? Why, the budget surplus, the one the Democrats wanted to save only for Social Security and Republicans tried to dip into for a tax cut. But never mind that now. The biggest emergency here is to wrap this deal up quickly so members can get home to campaign. Linda Douglas, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
In a moment, we'll go on to the other news. There's important news about children today. Fewer teenagers getting pregnant. More of them getting the shot that prevents it. And trickle-down economics, your employer and your health care.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by the new Silverado.
Something powerful is happening. Introducing the new Silverado. With a more powerful V8 than any other pickup. It's the truck from Chevrolet.
You didn't dial 10-10-321?
I admit it, Oscar. Sometimes I forget.
I told you dial 10-10-321 to save money. 50% when you talk over 20 minutes.
I know. I saw my phone bill, and those 10-10-321 calls were much cheaper.
And it's so easy.
I know.
So from now on, you'll always dial 10-10-321 first, right?
Oh, yeah. I learned my lesson.
Pretty good advice, huh? Maybe I should be the trainer. Who doesn't want to save 50%?
Savor the summer. Live Maine lobster, specially priced at $14.99. At Red Lobster, the season isn't over.
There's a new study today from a respected research institute which finds that the number of teenagers in that picture is getting pregnant and dropping in a very big way. There's some interesting reasons. Here's ABC's Michelle Norris.
America's teenage pregnancy rate has finally taken a sharp downturn, dropping by 14% since 1990. The Alan Guttmacher Institute reports that teen pregnancy has fallen to its lowest level in 20 years. Experts say that suggests a major shift in teenage behavior about preventing pregnancy.
They are taking the measures that they need to take, including abstaining from sex, and when they're having sex, using contraception more.
But researchers point to Depo-Provera, a new birth control method that hit the market 4 years ago, as the major reason for the decline. It's known among teenagers simply as the shot, a drug injected once every 3 months that has proven to be almost 100% effective. It's become the birth control of choice for teenagers, particularly African-American girls, the group that posted the steepest decline in pregnancy rates.
So the girls all know about the shot? All the girls, even young girls, preteens, yes, everyone knows about it.
Why do girls your age seem to like this so much?
They don't want to get pregnant, but they want to have sex.
A lot of them have been on the birth control pills before and have had trouble remembering to take the pills. And many of them really like the fact that you only need to get a shot every 3 months.
With barely any advertising, Depo-Provera has spread primarily through word of mouth. As the drug becomes more popular, researchers think it might be one of the best weapons in the war against teenage pregnancy. Michelle Norris, ABC News, Washington.
At the White House today, teachers and police officers met with President Clinton and others for a conference on school safety. Despite some widely publicized crime in schools, a new government report shows that 43% of schools had no crime at all. 90% had no serious crime, robbery and rape included. However, more students are seeing gangs in their school. There's also been a lot of talk about the effect of school uniforms. Do they really affect student attitudes? We asked ABC's Jane Clayson to take a look.
Since students in the Long Beach, California school district started wearing uniforms 7 years ago, there has been a remarkable change in their behavior.
When everybody's dressed the same, they don't have to worry about how I look today or if I'm wearing the right colors or the wrong colors. They don't really have a source of conflict with other kids.
That means no more provocative gang colors in the schoolyard, no more expensive jewelry and tennis shoes to fight over. And here in Long Beach, the stunning results. A 90% drop in assaults, thefts, and weapon and drug violations. Police say crime is even down off campus, before and after school. The largest school districts in the country are instituting uniform policies, and in most cases, youth crime has declined.
Raise your hand.
In Boston.
It's probably one of the most successful things that we've done.
What does that mean?
In Harlem.
There's a sense of greater unity. I think there's a sense of purpose and discipline.
And in Los Angeles.
They behave, and once kids behave, then I can start teaching.
And it's not just about school safety. Some educators believe uniforms actually contribute to higher academic achievement because students are not so distracted by what they're wearing. There is mixed reaction to uniforms among the kids.
Everyone looks the same, so like people don't like pick on you that you're wearing a bad outfit. I don't like them because a lot of people like to be original and don't like to wear the same thing all the time.
But among teachers and administrators who have seen it work, uniforms are a simple way to make a very big difference in the classroom. Jane Clayson, ABC News, Long Beach, California.
The Federal Aviation Administration today has recommended what they call a safety upgrade affecting 12,000 jets. Nearly all the jets have insulation that caught fire in safety tests, such as this one. The FAA wants the airlines to replace the insulation during routine major maintenance. This all comes about as investigators are looking into the crash of Swiss Air Flight 111, which went down while pilots were reporting smoke in the cockpit. When we come back, a vivid example of how far there is to go in the Middle East before they get to peace. We'll take a closer look.
Buy a set of 4 selected Goodyear tires before November 28th and get a $50 or $100 U.S. savings bond. For the retailer nearest you, call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
Has frequent heartburn been a persistent problem for you? Have you treated it but still suffer on 2 or more days a week? Do you keep getting heartburn even though you've changed your diet? Your heartburn may be due to acid reflux disease. Ask your doctor about Prilosec. 1 capsule daily can provide complete 24-hour heartburn relief because it controls acid for 24 hours. 24 hours. Ask your doctor if Prilosec is right for you. Call to learn more. The most common side effects are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Want 24-hour heartburn relief with 1 daily dose? Ask your doctor about the most prescribed acid control medicine in America, Prilosec.
Is that my decaf cappuccino?
Weekenders are back.
No, that's my mocha latte.
Yep.
Every winter, people love to spend their weekends in St. John's Bay, like St. John's Bay wool and wool blend sweaters, cozy crew necks, comfy cardigans, perfect for chilly winter weekends, and only at JCPenney.
Excuse me, do they have kiwi almond bagels in there?
Only on the weekends.
JCPenney, I love your style.
As a highlight of our franchisee meeting, we have the co-founder of Pizza Hut, Mr. Frank Carney.
Recently, the retired co-founder of Pizza Hut did something surprising. He bought a Papa John's franchise.
Sorry, guys.
I found a better pizza.
Today he owns over 70 restaurants.
Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. He's got it.
Try our Papa's Choice. That's a large pizza with your choice of up to 5 toppings for just $9.99.
We're going to take a closer look tonight at how tough things are between the Israelis and the Palestinians right now. Today in Maryland, well away from the public eye, the Palestinian President Yasser Arafat and the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu are being encouraged by President Clinton to come up with a meaningful peace agreement. Skeptics abound. These are very tough men with very different agendas. First of all, witness what happened earlier at the White House. Here's ABC's John Cochran.
President Clinton tried to set the right tone by urging the two leaders to be realistic.
As in any difficult problem, neither side can expect to win 100% of every point.
The president said that because the issues are so sensitive, his guests would not answer questions. But as soon as they could, they rushed to the microphones to argue their cases before the world's news media.
We're asked to give additional territory. We want to ensure that this territory doesn't become a base and a haven for terrorists to attack us, as happened before.
Yasser Arafat shot back that it was an Israeli who assassinated Netanyahu's predecessor, Prime Minister Rabin. Arafat said he's already doing what he can to protect the safety of Israelis.
I can give 100% effort, but no one in the world can give 100% results.
What is the most serious obstacle to agreement?
The political decision from Mr. Netanyahu.
No wonder President Clinton insisted on holding the talks at a country retreat with almost no access for the press. American officials hope that taking walks in the woods will help the two sides settle their differences.
That sounds good, but the participants are veteran politicians who are less likely to be influenced by the pastoral setting than by what they think their people back home will accept. John Cochran, ABC News, the White House.
The trouble is that some of the people back home hate each other. Simple animosity is not strong enough. Our Middle East correspondent Gillian Finley gives us one small example tonight. It's all about a home in Jerusalem.
Huda El-Imam is a Palestinian, and for months now she's been engaging in what most people would call stealing. She's been taking tiles, hundreds of tiles, handmade by Palestinian artisans and installed in this house by her father more than 50 years ago.
It's history. This is our culture. It's our heritage.
The house Huda's father built has had several Israeli owners since 1948. When she learned the current owner was renovating, Huda began her collection. But the day our camera followed her,
Excuse me, you're not going to touch it.
the Israeli owners showed up too.
Yes, I'm the Arab Palestinian who owns the house. My name is Huda Farid Imam, and Farid Imam is the one who built this house, and he had put these pillars here, and he has put every stone in this house, okay?
In 1948, Jerusalem had become a battleground. Like thousands of Palestinians who fled, Huda's father believed he would soon return. But then Arab countries attacked Israel one day after it declared independence. When the war was over, Israel controlled this part of Jerusalem, and the homes of Palestinians who left were declared properties of the new Israeli state. The fact the Arab armies attacked, the fact that many of these houses were used to settle a flood of Jewish immigrants, including thousands who survived the Holocaust, is how Israel has always justified what happened here. Today, Israelis who own the homes say they bought the houses legally and don't feel responsible for the past.
I can come also to Berlin, to where my grandmother lives, and say, well, this is my house, and my grandmother lived here, and she grew up here, and they had a whole big business here, and this is mine, this is also mine. I mean, it's a legitimate, it's a question that comes up in every war. Every war has a winner and has a loser.
But Huda El-Imam refuses to accept that she has lost.
These are the certificate of registration for the...
She still has her father's original deeds to the house and says she's proud that, unlike some Palestinians, he never accepted Israel's small offers of compensation.
Forget politics and nationalism and whatever. I'm the daughter of the man who has built this house, and I'm proud of it.
From their point of view, you're stealing.
From their point of view. But from my point of view, they have stolen the whole house and the whole of Palestine.
Please, I want your name. In the end, the police were called, but they never arrived. Israeli neighbors took back most of the tiles Huda had taken. This one small dispute ended like so many others have here, unresolved and in anger.
I will not allow any Israeli to live here in peace.
Gillian Finley, ABC News, Jerusalem.
We'll be back. Just a moment.
There's an athlete amongst us, disguised as a mother and a neighbor. And when most of us are still sleeping, she's running. She also takes the vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and folic acid in Women's Ultra Mega Multivitamins made by General Nutrition Centers. Tomorrow, she'll get up and run some more. Women's Ultra Mega Multivitamins made exclusively by GNC. Live strong, live well.
Nobody does it like you.
A vacuum cleaner you need to push and pull? Or one so easy it almost works by itself?
Nobody
Self-propelled wind tunnel.
does it like you.
Tylenol House Call from Extra Strength Tylenol.
Your medicine cabinet. You use it every day, but do you really know what's in there?
Not everything. No, I never thought about it.
My medicine cabinet? Well, it pays to take a good look in your medicine cabinet. You might be surprised to find that you may have a prescription drug that could interact with an over-the-counter medication, altering the effectiveness or safety of one or both of the drugs. So here's some tips for you and your medicine cabinet. First, read the label for any warnings about drug interactions. Then, get rid of all out-of-date medicines and those you don't take anymore. Who needs them? And if you're one of the millions of people who takes a prescription drug, speak with your doctor about the pain reliever you choose. For people on certain prescriptions, Tylenol is the brand of pain reliever doctors recommend most. So check out your medicine cabinet. Any questions? Check with your doctor or pharmacist.
Tylenol House Call is brought to you by Extra Strength Tylenol.
According to the press, you couldn't choose a better time to buy a new car. So why not buy the one Automobile Magazine chose over Accord and Camry for their All-Star Award for Best Family Sedan, the Intrigue. Right now, you can receive our lowest financing of the year at 0.9% and enjoy over $2,800 in finance savings on all 98 Intrigues. So come in today and get 0.9% financing or other great offers on the Intrigue and all 98 Oldsmobiles now at your local Oldsmobile dealer.
This week we've been looking at managed care in America, now truly the HMO nation. The promise of managed care has always been to provide better care at a reduced cost. But when HMOs don't get the job done, the question is who's to blame? Tonight we check in with whether your employers have an answer for it. Today, 127 million Americans and their families are enrolled by their employers in some form of managed care. Dr. Thomas Bodenheimer from the University of California blames the corporate bottom line for driving down the quality of health care available to workers.
If you're a corporation, you have to worry about your profit margins. And quality of care a lot of times increases costs. Whereas if you can cut down your cost, you're going to increase your profits.
According to recent studies, only about a third of corporations in the market for managed care ever consider the quality of the health care provider. Greg Lehman is a corporate consultant about health care.
I think the breakdown has been traditionally that employers have primarily focused on cost, and they have been somewhat ignorant of the qualitative issues regarding health care.
And it may take a big effort for employees to refocus them. But it's wise to remember that if you criticize your HMO for inadequacy, you might also consider your employer's bottom line. Here's an important piece of medical news for the world. U.S. Navy researchers have found a new vaccine that may prove very effective for treating malaria. The vaccine uses DNA to build up the body's immunity to the disease. In many parts of the world, strains of malaria have become resistant to drugs, and health officials say that a vaccine is desperately needed. 3 studies published today have found that light therapy is an effective treatment for people who become depressed in the winter. It's sometimes called seasonal affective disorder. 60% of the people who suffer from the winter blues said they felt better after receiving a concentrated dose of bright light in the morning. We'll be back in a moment with the last word about history and fashion.
The AIM Investor Pop Quiz. The first step to smarter investing is hoarding every penny, cutting up all your credit cards, seeing a financial consultant. Peace of mind comes from investing with discipline. AIM Mutual Funds.
Experts say babies who get held a lot grow faster. That the touch of a hand can lower someone's blood pressure. That smiling releases helpful hormones. At Cigna Healthcare, these are all sound, scientific reasons for our particular way of doing things. It's called caring. And that should lower everyone's blood pressure. Cigna, a business of caring.
Johnson, I'd like to see some ideas on saving the company money. I'll be back first thing in the morning.
Think. That's the dumbest! Think. Help!
Well, Johnson, Staples. That'll save us a lot of money. You are a genius.
Staples has guaranteed low prices, like an HP cartridge for $23.88. Staples, yeah, we've got that.
The AIM Investor Pop Quiz. The road to retirement should be paved with lottery tickets, pork belly futures, lots of vacations. Have peace of mind. Call your financial consultant about AIM Mutual Funds.
ABCNews.com, the first place for news online. Get your news first from ABCNews.com, on the web and America Online.
Just a brief review of the main story of wide interest to everybody. The Federal Reserve cut interest rates by another 0.25% today. It was a surprise. Wall Street had an immediate reaction. The Dow Jones closed up more than 330 points. So, finally from us this evening, history and the handbag. This is about Margaret Thatcher. She is Baroness Thatcher now, but in the 1980s she was Prime Minister Thatcher, Mrs. T, the Iron Lady, the Soviets called her. And everywhere we saw her, at war with Argentina in the Falkland Islands, with her friend and political ally Ronald Reagan, quarreling with Europe, there was no picture of Mrs. T without the handbag. And this year, Baroness Thatcher wanted to leave her handbags to history, to Cambridge University, along with all her papers and other artifacts of power. And they don't want the handbags. From the university curators, a really stuffy reply. Fashion accessories have no historical significance. Who are they kidding? Have they never been to that famous wax museum in London? Mrs. Thatcher has. That is our report on World News Tonight. Later on Nightline, they are graphic and disturbing and apparently effective. They are some of the newest anti-smoking ads. I'm Peter Jennings. We hope you have a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Tomorrow, he has been the Pope for almost 20 years. Now John Paul is laying down the law. Are millions of his followers in for a big change? Watch World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABC News, now always on.
Vengeance Unlimited, ABC Tonight. Antonio Banderas.
Step outside. I'll set you free.
Sylvester Stallone.
Don't play with me now.
For two assassins, the real competition is about to begin.
I'm going to tear your heart out.
The network premiere, Assassins, ABC Tonight. Parental discretion advised.
This is News 2 at 6.
Good evening, everyone. Early morning arrests in Sumner County opened the door to a suspected theft ring.
4 people are in custody, and they could be linked to more than 30 burglaries. News 2's Karen Brady is live tonight in Sumner County with more. Karen?
Well, Bob and Ann, the big